Welcome to African News Roundup. Starting off this segment, thieves broke into National Museum in the Syrian capital and stole several ancient statues dating back to the Roman era, officials said on Tuesday. The National Museum of Damascus was temporarily closed after the heist was discovered early Monday. Although the museum reopened in January as the country is reeling from the 14-year civil war and the fall of the 54-year Assad family rule last year, the museum in central Damascus, the country's largest, houses invaluable antiquities dating back to Syria's long history. After the war started, security was boosted with metal gates and surveillance cameras. An official from Syria's Directorate General for Antiquities and Museums told the Associated Press that 6 marble statues were stolen, adding that an investigation is ongoing. This is what I think about this. Cultural heritage continues to be a challenge to Syria as the ancient statues in Damascus was stolen despite the political turmoil the country continues to face. Even though some attempts to keep the artifacts safe during the war were made previously, thieves still found their way to steal some of the statues belonging to the ancient Roman period. This also brings up issues of law enforcement, protection of national treasures, and the overall effect of the war and regime change on cultural institutions in Syria. Still on African news, South Africa's unemployment rate edged down in the third quarter of 2025, helped by job gains in construction, social services and trade, the National Statistics Agency said on Tuesday. According to Statistics South Africa, the official jobless rate fell to 31.9% between July and September, from 33.2% in the previous quarter. Although the decline marks a modest improvement, unemployment remains above 30%, a level it first crossed during the COVID-19 pandemic and has struggled to recover from despite various government job creation efforts. Officials also noted that unemployment often trends lower in the third quarter due to seasonal hiring. Here is my analysis. The slight improvement in South Africa in terms of unemployment represents some progress primarily because of employment creation in the construction sector, social service and trade. Nonetheless, the rate of joblessness is still very high, which indicates that the country's economy is still fragile despite the positive aspects such as enhanced electricity supply. The decrease is good, but not sufficient enough to indicate actual economic recovery. And finally, on African news, the International Monetary Fund said on Tuesday that Senegal retained its sovereign right to decide how to deal with its debt. It made comments after discussing various options with Dakar on how to address the country's significant debt vulnerabilities. The IMF said the policy talks last week were part of the organization's role to offer expert analysis and advice for government consideration. Senegal has been facing difficulties since last year after the then new government disclosed hidden debts that are now estimated at more than $11 billion. This led to the IMF freezing a $1.8 billion financial support package for the West African economy. Securing an IMF financing program requires a government setting to clear out paths to its finances, including its debt burden, on a sustainable footing. The Prime Minister unveiled a new economic recovery plan for Senegal in August, pledging to finance 90% of the initiative through domestic resources and avoid additional debt. This is what I think. With the high debt crisis and instability of finances in Senegal, the IMF has advised the government to look into restructuring the debt. Without restructuring of its debt, analysts are cautious that Senegal might struggle to balance its finances and its ever-widening budget deficits. All these news were gotten from African News. Until next time, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.